Your cat is curled up on your lap, eyes half closed, that deep rhythmic rumble vibrating through its chest. You smile. She is happy. Every cat owner knows this scene. Every cat owner thinks they know what it means. But here is the problem with that explanation. Cats also make this sound when they're in pain. When they're giving birth, one of the most physically traumatic experiences in the mammalian world. When they're scared, injured, even when they're dying. A cat in an emergency room with a fractured femur will lie there rumbling. A cat in its final minutes, still rumbling. That doesn't make sense if the rumble is just happiness. If it costs energy, why would a dying animal waste its last calories on a pleasure signal? The answer is stranger than you'd expect. That deep chest vibration is not primarily an emotional signal, it is a medical device. A low-energy vibration therapy system. It evolved to heal bones, repair tissue, and manage pain, all built into the body of an animal that spends most of its day asleep. We've known for decades that cats produce this sound in two completely opposite situations: pleasant and traumatic. Veterinary researchers documented it repeatedly throughout the 20th century. Cats do it when being petted, during labor, after surgery. Even while being euthanized, the same behavior in radically different contexts. Early explanations were circular. They're doing it because they're comfortable, except they also do it when obviously uncomfortable. It is for communication. Except they also do it when completely alone. It is a soothing mechanism. That one got closer. But soothing alone doesn't explain why a cat with a broken leg produces the sound more than a healthy one. Let that sink in for a second. A study compared 24 cats. Those with bone fractures did this an average of 47 minutes more per Dalton Y than healthy controls. That is a 2.7 times increase. Nearly 3 times as much chest rumbling from cats whose bodies were actively trying to repair broken bone tissue. If it is just an emotion, why would a fractured cat need so much more of it? The pattern doesn't fit. The fractured cats weren't happier, they were healing. The breakthrough came when researchers stopped interpreting the sound and started measuring it instead. In the 1990s, bioacoustics researcher Elizabeth von Muggenthaler did something no one had done before. She recorded dozens of cats, domestic cats, cheetahs, ocelots, even a mountain lion, and measured the exact frequencies produced by their chest vibrations. She wasn't interpreting meaning. She was collecting data. What she found caught everyone off guard. Domestic cat frequencies cluster in a very specific range, 25 to 150 Hz, with the strongest component at 25 to 50 Hz. This range is not random. It overlaps almost perfectly with frequencies that clinical studies have shown to promote bone growth. 25 and 50 Hz are the frequencies best documented for stimulating osteoblast activity, the cells that build bone. Controlled experiments show that exposure to these vibrations can increase bone density by roughly 30% and accelerate fracture repair. The higher end of the range, around 100 Hz, targets soft tissues and skin, which cats also produce. This suggested a radical hypothesis. The chest rumble didn't evolve to signal contentment. It evolved as a low-cost, always-on maintenance system, a built-in vibration therapy device for the feline body. And here is the part that makes this plausible. All cat species produce this sound. Domestic cats, cheetahs, lions, though big cats do it differently, only on exhalation. Even genays and a South American monkey species do it. The trait is ancient and conserved. That suggests it provides a real biological advantage, not just emotional expression. But how does it actually work? The mechanism is mechanically extraordinary. The sound is produced by the laryngeal muscles and the diaphragm contracting in rapid alternation, roughly 25 to 150 times per second. A neural oscillator in the cat's brainstem drives this rhythm, independent of conscious control. Cats cannot choose to start or stop it. It is automatic, like breathing. A 2023 study in Current Biology added a new layer. By studying excised cat larynges, researchers discovered the frequencies can be produced passively. The vocal folds vibrate at the right frequency simply from airflow without needing active neural input. Think of a wind instrument. You blow air through it, and the reed vibrates at a specific pitch. Without being told to, the cat system is similar. A neural oscillator at 20 to 30 Hz drives the laryngeal muscles, which then entrain a passive mechanical resonance, part active, part automatic, like a parent pushing a child on a swing at exactly the right moment to keep it going. Here is the most astonishing part. Despite producing vibrations 25 to 150 times per second, this behavior consumes only about 0.02% of a cat's metabolic rate. That is nearly free in energy terms. A cat can do it for hours, while sleeping, while injured, while conserving every calorie for recovery, without any significant energy drain. This changes the logic entirely. If it were energetically expensive, the dying cat paradox would be a real puzzle. But it costs essentially nothing. It is like a background process running on a computer, using negligible power while performing a critical maintenance function. So, okay, if that is true, does exposure to 25 to 50 Hz vibration actually affect bone and tissue healing? The answer is yes, and the evidence doesn't come from cats. In 2006, researchers at the University of Tennessee conducted a controlled experiment. Human subjects were exposed to 25 Hz vibration for 30 minutes per Dalton Y, 5 days a week, for 12 weeks. The result was striking. Bone mineral density at the lumbar spine increased by an average of 8.2%. Think about that, a therapy with no drugs, no surgery, just 30 minutes a day on a vibrating platform. Similar studies have confirmed that low-magnitude vibration stimulates osteoblast activity and can slow bone density loss. In osteoporotic patients, the higher end of the frequency range, around 100 Hz, reduces pain and inflammation. It also promotes wound healing and improves joint mobility. Cats recovering from surgery produce the sound more. Cats with arthritis produce it more. The pattern is consistent across contexts. And here is the part that made me do a double take. If cats evolve this as a healing mechanism, it may also benefit nearby tissue, including human tissue. Multiple small studies have suggested that cat owners have lower rates of cardiovascular disease, lower stress, and better recovery from illness. The causality is usually attributed to companionship, but it is possible that a sleeping cat on your chest is not just comforting you, it is vibrating your ribs at 25 Hz. Now, before we get carried away, the caveats: the definitive experiment hasn't been done. We have excellent vibration therapy data from human clinical trials and excellent frequency data from cats. But no study has directly proven that a cat's chest rumble heals its own bones in real time. That would require surgically disabling the reflex in a control group, ethically impossible. To be clear, this healing thing doesn't mean they aren't also communicating or calming themselves down. It likely does all of those. The question is, which function came first evolutionarily? And the evidence leans toward self-maintenance. And the cat-human benefit is speculative. No controlled study has tested this directly. The health benefits of cat ownership could be purely psychological. Look, I am not saying it is 100% proven, but take all this evidence: the frequency data, the energy efficiency, the behavioral patterns. Stack it together. It is pretty hard to ignore. I looked down at my own cat the other day, just a regular tabby, asleep on the sofa, chest rumbling away, and I realized I'd been misreading her this whole time. I grew up thinking this sound was simple. Cat's happy, cat rumbles, end of story. But the more you dig, the more you realize how much we project onto animals without asking whether our framework fits. The cat's chest rumble is a case study in how easy it is to misinterpret animal behavior. Through a human lens, we assumed it meant happy because that is what it feels like when we experience it. The cat wasn't just happy, it was maintaining its skeletal health, managing pain, and running a low-cost biological maintenance program that evolution optimized over millions of years. This has implications beyond cats. How many other animal behaviors have we misread? Because we defaulted to the most human, comfortable interpretation. Dolphins click, is that sonar, communication, or some weird mix of both? Birds sing, is it territory, or mating, or something we haven't even thought of yet? Animals do things for reasons that are deeper and stranger than our first guess. Evolution is not sentimental. It doesn't design expensive biological machinery for emotional expression without a hard functional payoff. Think about that next time you see a behavior that persists through stress, injury, even the brink of death. There is a job being done. You just can't see it. Next time your cat curls up on your chest and starts that deep, rhythmic vibration, don't assume it is just telling you it feels good. It might be running a 25 Hz maintenance scan on its own skeleton. It might be managing pain from an injury you can't see. And it might be giving you a free dose of the same vibration therapy that human clinical trials have spent billions to develop. So why do cats do it? The honest answer, we're still figuring it out. But the evidence has shifted the conversation dramatically. That chest rumble is not simply what cats do when they're happy. It is a sophisticated self-healing mechanism, a low-frequency vibration therapy system. It runs in the background of every felid's life, costing almost nothing in energy, while potentially maintaining bone density and managing pain. Here is a question for you. Imagine you could design a built-in maintenance system for your own body, something running 24/7 at almost zero energy cost. What would you program it to do? Me? I'd want mine to fix my lower back pain. What about you?